Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be talking about sugar in the morning. Before I was using a CGM, I never could understand why I went to bed with a normal sugar of 6 or 7 and then wake up with a sugar of 12. I never knew what my sugar was doing at night or in the morning as I was waking up. So waking up with high sugar in the morning could be one of three things. Besides all the things that affect your morning sugar, such as exercising, what you ate. I am of nature a late night eater. Even though I'm not supposed to, I do tend to eat. If you do eat very carby, fatty and oily foods the previous night, you will also see it on your sugar in the morning. Your sugar might struggle to get down to a point where you can eat. The first thing could be that you are not injecting enough long-acting insulin. When you are sleeping at night, your sugar should be straight as an arrow. If it goes up or it goes down, it could mean that your long-acting insulin is maybe too much or too little. Ask your doctor to reassess your long-acting insulin just to stabilize your sugar through the night. The second thing could be that your long-acting insulin is working out through the night. If you are injecting in the morning, this could be the problem. Morning sugar also has a lot to do with when you wake up. I try to inject my long-term insulin roughly around the same time every day, 7 o'clock in the morning. So when I wake up at 9 or 10, there's already a 3-hour gap between 7 and 10, so your long-term insulin would have lost effect. Depending on the insulin that you're using, a lot of insulins overlap, so you don't have to inject on the minute every 24 hours. You can inject a bit earlier or a bit later. Toujeo is known for being able to overlap. When I was still using my finger pricks with the Contour Plus, I was using a long-term insulin called Lantus. Lantus does not have an overlap ability, so when you do miss an hour or two, you will see it in your sugar. Your sugar will respond to that. So when I was still using the Lantus long-acting insulin, I was injecting insulin at night as the doctor recommended. But one of the problems was that I forget to inject my long-term at night. So the next morning I would wake up with a high sugar, chaos. So I decided to inject in the morning. When I get up, I know my routine. I inject my long-term insulin, I inject my fast-acting insulin, great. The doctor said it could be that in the morning your long-acting insulin is worked out and there's like a 2-hour gap. So I again went back to injecting at night so I can fill that gap while I'm still awake. As soon as I started using the Toujeo, that was no longer a problem. So I could actually inject my insulin in the morning and then the next morning because of the overlap. The third thing could be that you are testing your sugar a bit late. So your body already started producing adrenaline to get you going, which pushes your sugar up. So what happens in the morning, about 15 to 30 minutes after you wake up, depending on your activity, your body produces adrenaline, and in effect, it uses glucose from your body, so from your muscles and your fat, and pushes your sugar up. Someone who isn't a diabetic, their body will obviously produce insulin automatically to keep that level. A type 1 diabetic would have to inject insulin in order for that sugar not to spike. What I started doing is when I wake up, I would inject my long-term insulin, my Toujeo, and then I would inject between 2 and 6 fast-acting insulin, the Humalog, just to keep my sugar steady. Depending on what my sugar is when I wake up in the morning. I wouldn't propose this method to someone that's using finger pricks because it's very difficult to control and to manage and to check. So this morning, I woke up with a sugar of about 6.4 and that was perfect. But I know that it's gonna go up. So I still injected my 2, went on with my day and waited for my sugar to come down so that I can eat breakfast. Timing in the morning is everything. What I do with my CGM is when my sugar gets high in the morning, I would have already injected my 2 to 6 units. And as it gets down, I would catch my sugar at about 5.5 or 6. I will eat about 15 to 20 carbs so that it can make a nice curve to about 4.5 or 5, and it would go up, and again it will turn at about 8. My dietitian introduced me to a new product called Optifast. Optifast is a meal replacement shake. We aren't necessarily busy with low carb diets. In fact, I'm trying to push carbs so that you can still get your carbs in, not lose too much fat and muscle, but still control your sugar. So my husband and I started using the Optifast shakes, and it's very, very good for type 1 diabetics as it keeps your sugar very stable. In the morning, I would wake up and inject my 2 to 6 fast-acting insulin with my 22 units long-acting insulin, and wait for my curve to go up and down. As soon as it reaches about 6 or 5.5, I would drink my Optifast shake. So what's nice about that is then you have something in the gym with you that's not bad sugar, but good sugar, because it contains proteins and fibers, everything you need with your carbs. As I'm exercising, I will drink a sip here and there of my Optifast just to keep my sugar level. If my sugar goes a little bit too low from my morning curve, I will drink my entire shake and start exercising. It's amazing to see how the exercise pushes the sugar down while the Optifast shake pushes the sugar up to balance each other, and then I get a straight sugar for the next 4 to 6 hours. It's amazing. It is a bit expensive, and you do need to see a dietitian before you can actually use it. Because it is based on a very low calorie diet, you need to get some expert advice to work out a plan for you when and how many of your meals you can replace with the Optifast, so that you still get all your nutrients but with a low calorie diet. At the moment my sugar is 4.5, so I think it's time for a meal. I will check you guys later. Please subscribe, leave your comments.